I knew the courtroom from all sides, from the prosecution, defense, and from the judge's perspective. So the elected officials thought that I was a good candidate. Now, to become a judge in New York County, you have to go through a independent screening committee. I went through 2 independent screening committees that week, and they found me highly qualified to be a judge. So with that, the elected officials looked favorably on me, and there was a vacant seat and in a certain district, and I got elected to that seat.
Carol Rosemarie Sharpe is best known by her closer relatives and friends as Dawn. Small in stature, but big in achievements. She epitomizes the old Jamaican saying, "Me lickle but me tallow."
I grew up number 6 of 7 children, and we grew up on Bay Farm Road, and my parents did not have a lot of money, but one thing they did was to raise us in the church, because they knew that the faith was very important to be the moral compass for their children. You know, the important thing I found then was the community that we had. The teachers had certain expectations of you in half-a-tree school, and you know, sometimes you get a beating. and then we went to high school, prepared, I must say.
Over the years, Jamaica has produced great people in many fields: sports, music, academics, and education, just to name a few. Dawn has joined that list through her recent appointment to civil magistrate in the city of New York. Dawn is highly respected by her colleagues, and most of all, she is being admired for her fairness and impartiality.
Everybody knew that she was one prosecutor that you could work with and trust. She understood that the job of a prosecutor is not just to convict people, but to see that justice is done.
In 1979, Dawn left Jamaica and migrated to the USA to live with her parents and older siblings in an effort to seek better opportunities.
Fortunately, in America, there are more opportunities to go to college. It doesn't mean that in Jamaica you can't do it, because I know in Jamaica that there are junior colleges, there are other colleges. In my days, it was just CAST and University of the West Indies, and there was no other opportunity. Now I know there are many more opportunities, similar to the US. So we all went, here in America, we all went to CUNY, except for, when I say CUNY, I mean City University of New York. And that's one of the cheapest form of educations. We lived in the Bronx. I went to Lehman College. And from Lehman College, I went to law school at Boston University School of Law. And I worked in the district attorney's office in the Bronx, where I prosecuted cases in the 80s and 90s. And we still went to church. You know, when we came to America, that's one of the things that my parents had us do. We continued in the church. And whether or not we chose to continue in the church as an adult, that was different. But my parents provided still the way to have a moral compass. That is, to be kind to others, to be sensitive, and to stay away from certain substance abuse. And you know, it may sound trite to you to hear me say this as an old woman, and you look at me, oh yeah, you're a judge now, yeah, but no. You know, the same rules are true. It was true then, it's true today, and as I raise my daughter, it's going to be true for her growing up. One, stay in school. I know it's, you know, we hear this all the time, but it is true. Go to school, even if it means walking to school.
For over 6 years, she served as Assistant District Attorney in Bronx, New York, as prosecutor in the Supreme Court. She was also an attorney with the New York City Transit Authority, litigating personal injury and employment matters in both the federal and state courts. As she starts her journey, she gets stellar and valuable advice.
Remember that democracy depends on judicial independence. There will always be power struggles. You can be attacked by mayors, although the present new mayor, I don't think so. The old one, definitely. And newspaper editorials, for sure. As well as the court administration, which is not that much into independence. But you must not be fearful of those attacks or of being reversed on appeal or the bureaucracy of the courts. I don't think you will be, but to say, what did I get out of my almost 30 years as a judge, that would be it. So I'm thrilled that you have become a judge. I am thrilled that you have asked me to be here and with you along the way to achieving that. And that is an honor for me.
She has gained the confidence of her colleagues as she displays a level of professionalism that her friends highlighted so colorfully.
We need them to know the criminal law. Why? Because civil judges don't even know what the rules of evidence are. I wouldn't have said that differently yesterday, just so you know. But just so you know, they don't really play by the rules in civil court, okay? 2, you need someone who knows civil law too. Carol Sharpe has that. You need someone who knows what it takes to try a case. And for those of us who do it, and I did it for a long time, it takes the blood out of your veins. And if you don't know that from experience, you don't really belong on the bench. And lastly, you need to know what it will take to be a judge. So guess what? She's a kick-ass trial lawyer who tried criminal cases, civil cases, and then she went to work for a judge. And she has more compassion in her heart than anyone in this room.
When I came to America, my brother Michael was very politically active in the Pan-African movement, and this a part of this was to get America to stop investing in South Africa because of the apartheid. It's a racist regime that divided black and whites and prevented blacks, and when I say blacks, light-skinned black, dark-skinned black, every skin, mixed blacks, from participating and having legal status. So I became interested in it because of his leadership in it. I grew up on Bay Farm Road. I went to Harvard Primary School. And here I am, sitting here in America as a judge. You too can do it. You don't have to migrate to America to do it because there's so many opportunities that are open in Jamaica now. I know things are not as easy as it was when I was growing up. But stay with your dream. Hold your dream. There are so many temptations. There's so many things there to eat you up. If you could just not fall prey to the predators. If you could just say no, stay in school and say no to some of the temptations, especially us as young people, because that's when we're in the prime of our life and we think we know all the answers. But the reason why some of us came out on the other side is because we listened and we didn't do a lot of things that was so easy to do. And if you can just not do the things that are so easy to do, keep your eye on the prize, think about what you want to be, look around and see all those who are not what you want to be. You don't even have to have a role model. You don't even have to have a vision of what you want to be. Just look at what you don't want to be.
Other friends and family paid their respects to Dawn, Judge Carol Rosemarie Sharpe, another pioneer product of Jamaica.
Do solemnly swear or affirm
Do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
of the office of Civil Court Judge of the City of New York,
Civil Court Judge of the City of New York,
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Okay, then at this point you are officially a judge of the New York City.